Hello everyone, welcome back to Royalty Soaps. This soap taught me that I have to check the manufacturer's fragrance oil notes before I begin. I'm using a new supplier for fragrance today. We're using Frozen Margarita by 𝘮𝐵 Scents. Now I have purchased 10 or so fragrances from the 𝘮𝐵 Scents company and I really love them. Their vanilla is out of this world. Had I read the notes about how this particular fragrance oil behaves, this soap making video would have turned out very differently, but as it is, you guys enjoy. Let's start by blending our lye water solution into our oils. The recipe I'm using today is down in the description box per usual. All right, let's pour off our accent colors. Okay, let's get the accents and the base color ready to go. One of the accents we're just going to make like a pure white. Next accent is going to be a very bright yellow. I am going to tone it down ever so slightly with a little bit of titanium dioxide. Then I have radioactive green. This is a neon green. Add a little bit of titanium dioxide to that one as well, making a nice creamy lime color. And then our base color is just going to be a very vibrant green. We're not adding any TD to this one. Okay, let's blend them up and see how the colors look. Wow, I hardly ever get it right on exactly the first time, but I think we nailed it. Now we're going to add our very special little fragrance oil that we've blended with kale and clay. Very limey. It does actually smell frozen, which is just wild to me that can be something portrayed in a fragrance. Temperature can be portrayed in a fragrance, and it smells cold. I think I'm gonna do an in the pot swirl for this soap. I've kind of gone back and forth on what I want for it, but I think that's going to give the most authentic look to it. Whoa! Okay, well, it looks like things are moving along just a little. Gonna go ahead, blend this in. If we move quickly in the future, this won't be a problem, but I was taking my sweet time and clearly I should not have. Okay, let's go ahead and get this in. It's starting to look a little bit chunky, but all the colors are still going to make it into the soap, so no big deal. Well, that was certainly an adventure. I'm just going to clean up my molds a little bit here. It honestly wasn't that bad, and I feel really dumb because we went and we looked back at the fragrance notes for cold process, and it literally says you have to move quick. Like, it turns into Vaseline. It's still workable, but you have to work quickly. And I was over here like, la, 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 la. Honestly though, looking at this, that kind of looks like a slushy, icy texture, so I'm not even mad about it. I may end up changing this to a layered soap. I might keep it like this. I don't really know. I'll just decide tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and mix up the soap frosting because we have a lot of embeds to do. Wow, look at this soap frosting. It looks so edible. I always love doing little lines down the side of the piping bag. They're not showing up super good right now, but hopefully they'll come through in a second. Oh, there they are. I'll have to rotate so you can see them a little bit better. The ones on the inside will look really pretty once cut though. Really tried for this frosting to make it look still limey, but really frothy. Think if a Wendy's Frosty, like they did a frozen lemonade one time, think about if they did a limeade. Bruh. Texas is pretty known for its margaritas, actually. I don't know if this is common knowledge or not, but for those of us in Texas, that's common knowledge. And I don't actually know if they're better than in other states because I haven't tried them in other states. these. But they're downright full of sugar around these parts, so if you have a major sweet tooth, it's probably worth trying at a local Tex-Mex area. I'd say one of the strangest things about being from Texas is that people who have never been here have no idea how big it is. We've talked about this on the channel before, but since we started uploading a lot of YouTube shorts, most of our views are coming from people who have never seen my content before. So a lot of people are like, oh no, did you see that? I don't know, fill in the blank for something that happened. And I'm like, that is 7 hours away from me. And don't get me wrong, I'm like super grateful for all the concern, but yeah, I live next to DFW, so if it's something down south or something out in like Midland or something, I am nowhere around those parts. Another spring phenomena in Texas would be crane flies. Now, what do you call them? Do you call them crane flies? Do you call them skeeter eaters? Do you call them mosquito hawks? Because I grew up calling them mosquito hawks, and then Caleb was like, what are you talking about? That's a crane fly. I was like, listen, bestie, that may be what they call them in Kansas, but around here we're calling them skeeter hawks or skeeter eaters. They're completely harmless, like, but they're so annoying and they make so much noise and they come into your house and they buzz all around. My cat Basil likes to eat them. All right, let's talk embeds. First up, we have some limes, of course. Gotta make sure that these end pieces get some love first. So on this side is our lime. Gotta make sure I place these pretty perfectly because they are quite thick. Last one, very good. Now we're gonna add some little ice cubes. Look how cute these are. We did add a little bit of sparkle in them. You may or may not be able to see that. Every bar is gonna get 2 of them. And then I have this eco-friendly, biodegradable paper straw. We're just gonna stick that right in there just for some presentation. And of course, it will be removed before anybody uses the soap. This month is so reminiscent of like OG royalty soaps designs, heavy on embeds. And there's been kind of a big shift in soap world away, I would say, from the more fanciful, elaborate soaps and into like lots of ingredient marketing, lots of natural soap marketing. That's a natural ebb and flow. That's kind of how it was when I got into it. Then the fancy stuff sort of took off. Then we kind of go back. Like, it's like fashion where it's like, are low-rise jeans ever gonna make their way back around? And everyone's like, probably not. And yet here we are, 2024. It makes it interesting as a maker when you kind of like carve out a niche to see how you're gonna adapt to what is evolving in the online space. Like when I started, there weren't that many people selling soap online. Now there's a ton of people after 2020 selling soap online, and everyone is offering their own unique take on it. I've seen a lot of real ingenuity come out in the past year or two in the soap making community, and it's honestly been such a blast to be a part of so many people's journeys. Go ahead and stick all these in here. These look so good. You do have to make sure that you put the straws in far enough though, because they can be really hard to shrink wrap. I recently saw someone leave a comment talking about wanting to see my packaging process again. They said that that's one of like the videos they go back and watch all the time. I had no idea anybody cared. My packaging process honestly hasn't changed that much since I made the video. The big difference being that now I have a shrink wrapping tunnel, so I'm not having to do them all by hand. But if you're interested in seeing that, let me know, because there's a lot of soaps to wrap, and I'm more than happy to share where I get my wrapping materials and printing and all that kind of good stuff. Beautiful. Okay, last ice cube. Then maybe we'll get a little bit of glitter on this. Last one. Lovely. Just going to use a little bit of green opal bio glitter. This is from the Good Glitter. It's pretty translucent, but in certain lights, it does have a very green appearance to it. This is going to make everything look really icy without me having to use something like a salt or little chopped up melt and pour pieces. All right, last little bit right here. And I think we're done. Wow, look how fun these are. Ooh, I would love for some of y'all to show me pictures of this in your bathroom. There's so many people that follow me that have fruit-themed bathrooms. I blame Urban Outfitters because they had like that whole peach thing that they did, and they keep using fruit in the bathrooms like papayas and stuff, and I just think this will be such a cute addition. We'll wait 18 to 24 hours and then we will come back and we will cut it open, take a peek at the inside after that fragrance oil misbehaved, and then we'll see if we want to make any changes in the future. The next day, this soap is looking beautiful. It smells so good. I'll probably let the other batches sit a little longer, but this one needs to be cut. Make sure that I get my placement just right. All right, let's see what the damage for me moving too slowly is. Oh wow, it's actually not that bad at all. It does kind of have that layered drink look. I could sing the praises of the potency of this fragrance oil all day long. It smells incredible. And there's still a little bit of a swirl to it, okay? There's a little bit of swirly going on. For convenience sake, I probably will move to layers for this soap just so that everything turns out exactly how I want it to. But this is super, super pretty. I can't wait to make more of these though because they smell so, so good. Question of the day. What do you think of drink soaps? It's been so long since we've done them, but the one time that I made like a whole drink soap month, we had like a Dr. Pepper, a root beer, a grape soda, and we sold out, but I don't know if I can pull that off again. I don't know if people are still interested, so you'll have to let me know what you think of drink soaps down below. Lesson learned, check the fragrance notes, but all in all, it still made a really beautiful bar of soap. And unless I had told you that this was not on purpose and that I was really having to scramble to get it in the mold, I don't think anyone who isn't a soap maker would know that this was kind of a batch. Smells great, looks great. I actually really look forward to making more of these this month. Don't forget to answer the question of the day because drink soaps might come back on the menu this summer if you guys really like them. Be sure you do something fun for yourself today, like hanging out with your bestie or going to get a frozen margarita with some chips with salsa and having a mini little chit chat session. I don't really care what you do. Just do something for you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Meow.